Hey everybody, how's it going? Stout Man coming back at you here. And today, I'm going to be doing something a little different. A friend of mine, who I used to speak with frequently on Stickam and whatnot, he made a comment on my 1,000 subscriber contest video, right? Not only to enter, but also to give me some ideas for videos. Actually, I thought that was very kind, very nice of him, and honestly I'm going to take him up on that. I'm going to take him up on that with this particular video series because one of the ideas that he came up with was really cool, or rather it was just something that I thought I could have a lot of fun with. You know me, I like to rant, I like to rave, so why not do a little video series where I kind of talk about the things that got me ranting and raving, or you know, at least piqued my interest during the previous week. And being that I always chastise Sean, and Sean always chastises me for being late to the party, so to speak, what we always like to say is like, welcome to last week, or welcome to last month, if it's been that long, you know. So like recently we were talking about the Nicktoons movie that's coming out, right? And he's like, wow, I can't believe they're actually doing it. And I was like, welcome to 2 months ago. That was when they first announced that they were going to be doing that, right? And he's like, no, they just announced it. And I'm like, no, they announced it 2 months ago. And the whole stupid thing got started. But yes, we like to go back and forth with each other on things like that, just for no particular reason, because it's not really important at all when you learn about things or anything like that. But it's just fun to, you know, poke each other every now and then with a stick. And that's one of the things we like to poke each other with a stick on, is the, you know, being late to the party. Welcome to the party, pal, kind of thing. So with that being said, I believe I'm going to title this video, Welcome to Last Week. Last week it was announced that Noomi Rapace would not be in the new Alien movie. Alien Covenant, I believe is what it's called. They said they weren't looking for her to be in the movie. They weren't looking to hire her for the role or anything like that. And they said that they were going to bring back what's-his-face, who played the robot guy. You know, I'm not even going to, you know, try to correct myself here. Just, you know what I mean. But they weren't bringing her back. So this brought a lot of ire from the fans. A lot of people saying, wow, why do we get to hear her story? Here's the thing, guys. We probably still will get to hear her story. Because the problem with saying that you're going to bring back the character that is the, you know, the android, so to speak, is that androids do not have a normal fucking human lifespan. Androids can exist for hundreds of years more than a normal human being can. So it's entirely possible that this android, and the story that we're going to hear from this android, is going to be completely removed from the story that we heard with Noomi Rapace's character in Prometheus. There's that, alright? It could be hundreds of years removed, alright? So just keep that in mind, people. Just keep that in mind. Second, Prometheus is not an alien movie. He has said it so many goddamn times that it does not need repeating, but fuck. It is not an alien movie, so just because we do not see Noomi Rapace's character in the Alien movie does not mean that we'll never get to hear her story again. It may mean that her story is specifically designed for the Prometheus side of things. So, yeah, I mean, people freaking out for all the wrong reasons, for no good reason. There's nothing being said here that we'll never get to hear her story. All that we really know is that this next movie will not feature her. And I'm okay with that, because I would love to see some exploration of the Alien franchise. And I don't need to hear everybody's story all at once And I don't need to feel like, well, if I don't hear her story continuing, then I'm going to lose my shit. You know, come on, people. Calm the fuck down. Be patient. Speaking of movie news, the Coen Brothers announced that they are in talks to do, or are planning to do, possibly a sequel to Barton Fink. Was it that they were talking about? I don't remember if they were actually going to do it or they're just talking about wanting to do a sequel to Barton Fink. But that to me is really cool. I want to see a sequel to Barton Fink because I fucking love that movie. I just discovered it like 2008 actually is probably when I discovered it. So yeah, it's been 8 years since I discovered that movie, but you know, I never really knew about it growing up, and it has become, without a doubt, one of my favorite fucking Coen Brothers movies, which begs the question, why no Blu-ray release? It is on Blu-ray in the UK, and I will probably end up getting that UK version of it at some point. But why? Why is it only available in the UK? First of all, it's a primarily American fucking film. It's a movie about an American playwright who moves to fucking Hollywood and becomes a scriptwriter for the film industry. You can't get more American than that. There is not a more American experience than that. It is a fucking primordial American film, and you can't get it in America on Blu-ray. What the actual fuck? But yeah, I mean, when you consider the fact that John Goodman is still around, so he could technically reprise his role if they wanted him to, and they've still got John Turturro, and he could reprise his role if they wanted him to, and if he wanted to. There are so many characters that could reprise their role in this movie, and it's just a great idea. I want to see it. And it would be kind of, from what I gathered, they want to do like him as an older guy. So, yeah, I would love to see that. Breaking out from the movie side of things, we've got Netflix, who just announced that there will be 3 more seasons of Orange is the New Black. We don't know if they're going to do more after that. We don't know if they're going to stop after that. But we do know that they have just signed an agreement to do 3 more seasons. Now, I want to express how unheard of this is, all right? Because in the TV, industry, in that industry where, they make the TV shows and whatnot, usually you're lucky if you can get them to agree to do even a popular show like, say, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. If you can get them to agree to do the next season, you know what I mean? It's usually done a season at a time. So this is telling of how different Netflix television is from normal, everyday, average television, because they are way more strict, and they are forced to be way more strict based on how they make money off of that and how they fucking meticulously gauge the viewership of a television show and whatnot. Whereas with Netflix, the only thing they have to care about is bringing in new viewers and keeping those viewers. What better way to keep viewers than to tell them that that favorite show of theirs is going to be around for 3 more years? So you want to retain that viewership that loves that show. Tell them that they'll be able to get access to each and every new season of that show the second that it comes out for 3 more years. That's their main goal with that. And that's why they do something like that, and that's how they do something like that. The fucking television industry, NBC, ABC, CBS, they can't do that. They can't fucking touch Netflix on that level. They can't. They fucking can't, and they fucking won't. So I just think this is really awesome because it just kind of fucking sticks it to them, you know what I mean? And I can't wait because I love Orange is the New Black. I can't wait to see what comes to the next 3 seasons. It's going to be fucking phenomenal. I just know it. So last but not least, this is not necessarily movie related, but it is something that you might be interested in. The Ninja Turtles game. There's a new Ninja Turtles video game coming out, of course. It's called, what is it called? Mutants in Manhattan, that's right. It's being done by Platinum Games. It's being produced by the same guys, Platinum Games, who did Transformers Devastation, which was a loving homage to like longtime fans of the original series. So if you can imagine, they're getting the guys from IDW. The story of this game, the Ninja Turtles video game, is going to be based on the IDW comics, and that's really cool. But that didn't happen last week. That happened, the news of this broke like months ago, right? Or at least a month or two ago, actually. I think we knew about it in like December. But yeah, regardless, the reason I bring that up is not only are we getting a new video game, we're also getting a board game, the Ninja Turtles board game. It is called Ninja Turtles Shadows of the Past, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shadows of the Past. And it's currently being funded on Kickstarter. As a matter of fact, it has already been funded, and they're now working on stretch goals, in which with each stretch goal they add more miniatures to the game, because this is a game being developed by the same guy who did Arkham Horror, one of the most popular board games out there right now. It's it's not a board game the way you think of like fucking Monopoly, all right? It's a hardcore kind of fucking role-playing board game, and it is based again on the IDW comics franchise, and the stories are from there, and it's gonna be it looks really fucking awesome, you guys. I mean, I can't believe how cool that game looks. Now granted, it's very expensive. You gotta pay like just to get the Kickstarter edition, you gotta pay like $90. But most board games nowadays like that. Most board games that are more in-depth and whatnot are going to be more expensive. That's just how it goes. That's the way she goes. And honestly, when you compare it to, like, I've said before and I'll say it again, the video game industry needs to just go for it. They need to just raise the price of their games to $100. Because with inflation, that's about the price that they should be at. When I was a kid in the 90s, games were $60. They're still $60 today for a new game. If the price of games had risen with inflation, we would be seeing games coming out at the $100 price tag. That's what would be the normal price for a video game. But they want to continue, reaching a wide enough audience, right? So what they've done, instead of raising the price, is they've added like DLC and stuff like that. They've taken shit out of the game in order to bring it to you later via DLC. So eventually you end up paying $100 or more in order to get the full fucking experience. If you want to get it all like at launch and then shortly after. So I hate that. A lot of people hate that. They just want all of the full game experience all at once, and then if you want to add things in later, do your DLC later, but don't take it out of the main game like they did with something like Destiny, right? So there's very good reason to hate that approach to the business, and what I want them to do is to just fucking go for it and start charging $100 a pop for video games, because it's about time that they did that in the first place. A lot of people would complain. It would cut out some of their market and some of their margins, but honestly, I think that it would be better for them than continuing this fucking charade, however you want to pronounce it, and continuing to piss gamers off with the fucking the DLC that was clearly once in the game but taken out in order to be sold back to them piecemeal. Like, we know what you're doing. It's getting fucking annoying. Knock it the fuck off. Just charge us what you actually want to charge us. I mean, if you make the argument solid enough, then it will be understood, Most people, they don't understand it. They don't want to understand it. They don't want to believe that, yes, it should be at a higher price by now, but it's the truth. Video games should be much higher priced. They should be the same price as this fucking Ninja Turtles board game is. So don't give me none of that shit. Your argument is invalid, alright? Let them charge what they want to charge, and then you'll get your full fucking game all at once. How about that? Alright? That being said, that's all I'm going to talk about. Wait. One more thing, video game related. Battalion 1944. Battalion 1944. Another game being kickstarted. It's a video game. And this is kind of like sticking it to your Call of Duties and your Battlefield kind of games, right? Battalion 1944 is very much in the ilk of those games. It's very much like those games. It's trying to be a multiplayer first-person shooter, but unlike those games, there's not really a leveling system. There's not really a system whereby you gain better weapons, whereby you gain better skills, stats, and skill trees, and better power-ups and all that bullshit that everybody hates about the Call of Duty and Battlefield games that make it completely imbalanced, right? It's going to be all skill-based. It's going to be based entirely on, do you have the skill to actually beat other players at this game? And leveling up and all that shit won't even factor into any of it. So, from what I've seen, it actually looks really fucking cool. It looks like a return to form for multiplayer first-person shooters. I have high hopes for it. It is, I believe it has already been funded on, I don't know if it's on Kickstarter, but it's on one of those, crowdfunding platforms. So I believe it's been funded already on one of those platforms, and I can't wait to see what comes of it. So there, with that being said, that is all I will talk about. That's it. I'm done. We're done with our little talk show. And that is what happened in the world of entertainment last fucking week. You late losers. You're probably not late. You probably knew all about this stuff. But, well, now you know my thoughts on the issues, so there you go. Anyways, that'll do it for me. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you later. Peace.